No.
Well, I got a hold of him.
Did you?
Yeah. I told him that y'all got a Mexican confession out of over there. And he told him where the dog was. And he didn't act a bit surprised.
Is that right?
He didn't act a bit surprised. I told him. He says, what's the going offer on that dog? I said, $500. I said, do you like that ebony bitch? He said, hell yeah. I said, well, he's got her. And I said, he told me he'd give her to you to get the dog. He said, well, I said, well, they're having a private fight. He said, that's what is going on. He said, they're having it in Sonny's.
Yeah.
He said, who's fighting for that? I said, how much? I said, that's an awful lot of money. And I said, I fought against some California people. I said, I don't know anyone out there who bet that kind of money but the boys out of Washington and Macau.
Yeah.
And he said, maybe they're fighting against Macau. I said, well, Don thinks that it might be his dog material. He said, I wouldn't be that surprised. And I said, I'm going to slip up there this weekend. And he said, I'll call you Monday.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I'll tell you. I said, Bill, I said, they've got a settlement situation. It's bad medicine. I said, boy's got a big family, kids and all that shit. And I said, they know the dog is there. I said, he's on a big, heavy chain. He's on a big, heavy trace chain. Know the dog when you see him? He said, yeah, I think so. And I said, well, he's a three-tooth dog. He's got a tooth out. I don't know if he's broke off or out at the gun. Oh, he said, I know the dog. And I said, well, I sure want to keep down a bunch of shit. He said, well, there's a bunch of shit already going on out here. And I said, who's been out there? He says, well, he said, the reason why I think it might be the brothers. He said they were over in Los Angeles this past weekend. Lehman boys.
Yeah.
And I said, he said, and they're getting pretty tight, pretty chummy with the Indians.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I don't give a shit. I said, there's going to be somebody's going to get hurt over that shit. I said, they know where the dog is. He said, do you think he's got him there at the house? I said, well, if this band they've got, if they send him out there, in case it's not, in case he's not there, he's gonna get him. I better get him some Indian ass.
That sounds good.
And I said, man, I'm serious. I said, he's got a bad son of a bitch and he's no kid. I said, I just hate to see this kid have Dr. Bull. I said, I told Don to let me talk to Bill first to see if he can, well, he says, keep it to yourself. He says, don't say nothing, don't call nobody out here. He said, just let me handle it from here on. He said, if the son of a bitch stinks, then I'll see it. He said, I'm not going to go through no shit to get him.
Yeah, right.
I said, well, goddamn, I hope you get the right one. He said, I do too. I said, well, goddamn. But that just not be my fucking leg. Son of a bitch sent me the wrong dog.
That did not mine. But, you know, I just happened to think of something.
What?
You know what it would be, the dogs that they're fighting for the big money? It would be into Tom Grego at 43 pounds. He's got a dog that's won 2 fights.
Well, I don't know, Tom.
They bet pretty good. They're all pooling. Just like those Cajuns.
Yeah.
They're all pooling. It's all them Indians out there around New Mexico.
Yeah.
And they all pool their money. And they'll bet like the Dickens, but it's all pooled. And all they got's a real good wrestling dog that can't bite too hard. It's out of snow. And he's
well, this heat, they don't have to do much.
That's the darn truth.
I bet you did.
I almost bet that that's the deal. And see, Tom is kind of tied up with those Lemon boys. Yeah. And that really makes sense there. They darn sure is. That makes sense there.
Well, I told him, I said, there's a big private fight out there coming up. And I said, it's real hush-hush. And he said, he said, I can get you. He said, I have been invited. But he said, I can't tell him what it is. He said, he'll probably wait the last minute to call me if they bother.
Yeah.
But he said, that's the deal. He said, it's going to be exciting. Stop doing that resume.
Yeah. Well, now look, if Sonny calls me or anything now, all I'm going to do, in other words, because I do know Bill gets juicing pretty good sometimes.
Yeah.
And if he calls me, I'm just going to tell him, I'm going to say, well, Sonny, here's the deal. You and I talked about this before, and we talked about 3 weeks ago for about an hour or so. And he said, boy, he just didn't have any idea where my dog was. He thought he was in Tennessee and everything. All that kind of crap. And I'm just going to tell him, I'm going to say, it's completely out of my hands. I went to the bank, put $1,000 in a man's name, my name too, and we both got to be there to draw it out, some kind of watermelon shit like that and everything. And just tell him that it's completely out of my hands now, but I turned it over to somebody else. And I would put it like that. Don't you think that's the best?
I wouldn't even talk to him. I'd just tell him that and say, I'm busy.
Yeah.
I'd let him sweat.
I'd be that's the best goal.
Yeah, I'd cut him off short. I'd throw ice water on him. I'd say, hey, man, I'm busy. I'd just tell him what you got going and just say, hey, I'm busy.
Yeah.
I said, I'm sure it's over summer. I'll just take you out to the ski tree and bug you for a week. Oh, you think that Indian wouldn't get nasty? After about 3 days?
That's what's going to happen to him anyway.
That's what Stephen Curtis did to us.
I guarantee you he
I told
would.
him to make it. He's through here today. He said, let's go out there and get him. I told him how big his tag was. He said, I'd like to have him with a ski tree and bug him for about a week. For a week? He'd get off of speaking in about a week. I told you about that story. This Cecil was telling me about that fat fucking that old gal up that thing. 3 months. Ain't that crazy? Oh,
boy. I know he was a dandy. I'd like to see him get back in the game. He'd liven it up, wouldn't it?
would he?
He damn sure would.
Oh, yeah. He's got him a bird dog.
A bird dog?
Yeah.
Is he still living up in Great Bend?
No, he sold that.
Is that right?
Yeah, they cut that up and sold it. He made himself a business. So he's got a Ford lot between Arlington and Hughes there, somewhere up there on one of them roads, outlaw.
Yeah.
Well, look, Tom, let me know what develops.
Okay, and
I don't think...
You don't know how much I appreciate this, man.
I don't think Bill will. Because I told him, I said, hey, Bill, I said, the son of a bitch is working on this. I said, he's a brother liquor. I said, hey, I said, an eyeball don't mean nothing to him. I said, I'm telling you the truth. And he went for it. He said, God damn. I said, I'm telling you right. I said, an eyeball don't mean a shit thing to him. And I said, I just hate to see some shit started. So I said, I told Mayfield, let me take care of it. He said, well, goddamn, I'm glad you did. But he said, it's the dog's there. He said, I'll do it. I said, it don't make a rat fast how you get. So I said, just be sure that it's simple.
Yeah. Well, that sounds great. I believe that'll come closer to getting him than sitting back and waiting.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, when I was out there in California with Benny Bob?
Yeah.
You know the long ride that y'all took?
Yeah.
Do you know the Sonny was in on that?
On the long ride?
Yeah, the long ride to the pit. Y'all know the truck was only a mile and a half from the pit. Yeah, you was less than 2 miles from the pit.
Well, I'd have never got in the truck and let them close up on me, but the man's wife got in.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
I've got a little bit of close to
that was all made up 2 or 3 weeks in front of the match, what they were going to do.
Oh, man, you should have been
Sonny copped out to it. But he said he didn't know about it. But he said that they had planned it, and the reason they had planned it was on account of what happened to Freddie down here in the match with General. And he said that they thought Freddie got done wrong and everything, and that's the reason they did that way. They planned to do it that way and everything. And then he caught himself, telling all about it. And then he said, but I didn't know about it until afterwards. All he did was just cop out on himself. And it was put up like Sonny was with Rick and Willie on the deal, see? That they invited him. Well, see, he phoned and got them to invite him himself, see? And in other words, it was up to him to steer them into all of that, and he was on their side.
Yeah.
And that's why I say they're going to loop scoop him when he comes this part of the country. And they done talked about that, so they're going to send him back thinking about it, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, don't mention it.
Oh, no. If somebody's stealing them dogs, if I knew, Tom, that he had all 3 of the dogs, if I knew it, for sure.
Well, I tell you, Maurice, now, it does seem awful funny that Leo got this phone call.
Wait, don't leave yet. Wait just a minute, huh?
It seems awful funny that Leo got this phone call, and then I've turned around and got 3 phone calls this week. And one man was right here in my yard and sit here, and he don't even know who in the hell Leo Kennard is. And he said and told me, he says, your dog ain't the only one that's out there. Said the Reno dog and the Eli dog both is there. Now, he flat told me that. And I'll tell you what, the man bought $700 worth of dogs from me. He bought $650 worth of dogs from Willie and did this in 2 days on a weekend and give checks. And we didn't think that, we thought the checks wasn't worth a shit because the boy didn't give a damn what he bought. He just flat didn't give a damn. He just looked at a dog and buy it. And I mean, he bought some that wasn't too good, and I flat told him. I told him they were bred good and how they acted and everything. And he seen one of them roll, and it wasn't worth a darn, and he gets $600 for it. And I couldn't believe this, and I knew it had to be a hot check. And I jumped in the car and went and drove to the bank, which was in Waco. And the check went through just like with good cookies. And the boy's going to California. He went to California 2 days ago. He's out there with Sonny and that Bert Saws. And, I mean, the boy didn't have no reason to be lying or anything. I mean, I didn't even really ask him. Willie called me and told me that the boy told him all this stuff, see? And the boy called me, and I kind of brushed him off. And then he went to Willie's and talked to Willie and everything, and bought the dogs from Willie. And Willie phoned me and told me what he done. And then he comes up my house the next day, and then, like I said, he bought $700 worth from me.
Well, he's got someone backing him.
No, he's tied up with a rich gal.
Well,
is what it is. And I just started kind of him-hawing around everything, asking me seen inside that General Dog and everything. We got to talking, and it didn't come right out and tell me. And then the more we got acquainted and everything, and more beer we drank and everything, then he told me about it. He told me, said, if you was going out there at that reservation, said he's there. And told me all about it. And then I couldn't really believe it because I didn't know this guy. I didn't know if he would be just saying this or what. And then I get 2 more telephone calls this week. And it says practically the same thing. And these are altogether different people that don't even, not even acquainted with this guy. And that's why I say...
There's so many people mad at him out there.
Yeah, I know it, but this guy's not even mad at him. One of the guys that told me about it, the one that was here, he's not even mad at him. As a matter of fact, Sonny is going to work a dog for him. And so he ain't mad at him.
Sonny's going to work a dog for Sorrel?
For what?
For Sorrel?
No. This guy's,
I thought you were talking about Sorrel.
No, this guy...
I don't care what who he is.
It's a real odd name, but Gunker or something like that. He's not even in the dog game good. He's just now getting started.
He's a friend of Sorrel.
He's a friend of Sorrel's.
Yeah.
And he's a friend of Sonny's.
Yeah.
And Sonny's going to work it out. He's not, real tight with him, but he's acquainted with him.
Yeah. Don't comb his hair.
No, sure don't.
I know him.
You met him?
Yeah. He's a crazy son of a bitch.
Damn sure is.
Shotgun man. He's the man that teases them people off all the time when he loses.
Is that
That's
him?
the old goody. Somebody to get his shotgun.
He's a goofy son
Well,
of a
that's him. He's about half nutty. We always feel lucky with some money in that bank.
Well, that's what I thought. I nearly slipped when I seen there was money in the bank because him buying them on the weekend with the checks and everything.
Yeah.
And, well, as a matter of fact, he's supposed to come back out here. And if I couldn't sell him anything, I was going to send him to you because the boy just keeps blowing that money.
Yeah.
Everything else, somebody would get it.
Well, when you run out of dogs, send him to me.
Well, I'm not out.
I'm not out, too. They're buying my yearly. Yeah, so they called me today and said, what do you think for that big white yearly that's got a bullet on it? Well, that's good. I said, I don't want to sell it to him, too. I want to bang him up. School him out. He said, I'll take a chance on it. Yeah, old goofy. Boy.
Well, I'll be damned.
Well, look, Doc, be sure to let me hear something.
Okay, Mark, you don't know how much I appreciate this.
Well, anything I can do. And if you go out there, if you don't tell them to go with you, or just holler. I'll guarantee you, we'll get Nicky and let Nicky put that big horse stick in it. You think he wouldn't talk?
I guarantee you he'd do it. I just met the cat one time, but he's hell.
Yeah, I'll look at you.
Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.